Yo, what's up? Eric Wong here from ericwongmma.com. And as you can see, I'm not in a dank, damp, dark gym. Outside, it's a beautiful day. Figured bring today's Q&A video from the sun. Okay, everybody could use a little vitamin D, me included. Okay, so let's jump into it right here. Hi Eric, I did a grade 2 tear of my LCL while training BJJ on the weekend. Just wondering what I should be doing to strengthen and protect my knees going forward. Cheers, Bryce. This is Bryce Kerkhof from Auckland, New Zealand. Okay, so first of all, LCL. It's the lateral collateral ligament, and that is right out there. It provides, so let's think about this for a second. What are ligaments? They're designed to provide joint stability in an emergency situation. Okay, so if you're straining any type of ligament, whether it's PCL, MCL, ACL, LCL, then that means that you went to an extreme range of motion. Okay, and then the ligament had to come in, and then the force was greater than what it could handle, so it tore or sprained or whatever happened to it. Okay, so the LCL is out here. Any kind of lateral motion where the knee is gonna, here's my knee, this is the front, this is the back, the knee's sideways bending, that's gonna strain and put tension on the LCL. So what happened there, I'm not sure. It could have been a takedown. With a takedown, you're battling with the guy, and then some kind of rotating throw or something like that. You can catch a leg and then strain it that way. Or what's common is in BJJ on the ground and your knees are getting pulled like that. So it could be you doing it yourself like a rubber guard, or it could be your opponent doing it to you. I remember the nastiest incident that I saw was when Brock Lesnar was fighting Randy Couture, and he got a hold of his leg and he just wrenched it basically to strain that area, and Randy luckily escaped it, but if he did kind of move how he did, that would have been popped for sure. Would have been broken right off, actually. I mean, Lesnar's an animal. But so what can you do to deal with or to prevent LCL problems? Well, there's a couple things. Definitely want to ensure that the muscles all around are strong. So this is going to provide a limited amount of stability for the LCL, because the muscles all around the knee, the knee is a hinge joint, and those muscles work as such. So flexion and extension, that's pretty much all that happens at the knee. Quads are extending, hamstrings are flexing, and then it's a little bit of work from the calves is in flexing as well, the gastrocnemius. So where do we have to look if we're not going to look at the knee for providing support? We've got to look at the hip. Okay, so the hip has to be both stable and mobile. Okay, so it's got to be stable, because if you're rotating, you've got to have that balance. If you don't have that balance from the hip, you're not going to have much balance on one leg at all. Okay, so single leg exercises like single leg deadlifts and static active hip rotation from the hip flexibility solution, those exercises are great. Another one I'd throw in would be, this from Dr. Stu McGill, who's one of my profs at the University of Waterloo, the hip airplane. Okay, so you just basically go into like a stiff-legged deadlift position, stay there, make sure you're in good posture, shoulders are back, nice and tall spine, and then you're just rotating up, hold, rotating in, hold. It's kind of like the static active hip rotation, but standing on one leg bent over. Okay, this is going to help to provide that lateral stability that comes from the hip as well. The other thing you need to do is train that mobility, because this type of mobility right here, this type of flexibility for like rubber guard and that kind of thing, comes from the hip. My favorite stretch, I'm going to try it here, or I'll show you here. I don't want to break this table, it's a glass table. Bench press, just get a bench, like a bench press, put your foot up like that, and then imagine my foot's still up there. You drop down to one knee and just sit there for like 2 minutes. Just breathe and settle that hip down until it's flat and you're up tall. Okay, so if you imagine my legs up on the table and I'm sitting like this and I'm stretching and I'm breathing and just letting it go. It takes a long time for these muscles often to settle until you get into the stretch of those muscles themselves. So you've got to sit there for at least a minute, but usually around 2 minutes. Okay, so that's one flexibility exercise for you. So try that out, Bryce. Definitely help with any kind of lateral issues with the knees, to keep the knees healthy in the frontal plane. All right, there you go. Moving on. Number 2. Okay, this is from Nicola. I'm so happy you brought us the shoulder flexibility solution, and I'm currently working my rounded shoulder posture daily. I'm I'm already feeling responses from my body, and I'm excited to look upon the results. But one question: when I did the self-myofascial release the last time, my shoulder would crack repeatedly in some positions. Can I ignore this, or should I stop this position when the cracking occurs? So if you're cracking and there's no pain, popping, cracking, no pain, keep going, no problem. It's just repositioning. It could be like a tendon popping over another tendon, and it's like a snap. Or it could just be some air bubbles in the joint that are popping. Usually it's the tendon over tendon. No, that's not an issue, okay? Some things you could do to release it is, well, it's not so much for the shoulder, but I know there's some things you can do for the hip to, if your hip pops a lot, that's a common question I get actually as well, is whenever you're doing a movement where it pops, brace your abs really tight. Get the stability there, and that might actually eliminate that popping and keep everything in position so the tendons don't snap over each other like that, okay? But if there's no pain, no issue. Just keep it going. The benefits are gonna keep going whether you're popping or not, okay? Nicola, hopefully that answers your question there and answers a common question I get about popping in general in the hip. So there we have another Q&A, another episode in the books. Hope you like it. If you want to ask me a question, hit up erikwongma.com/ask. Make sure you head out my blog as well. See all the great stuff I've got for you there. And I'm going to do a redesign. I don't know if it'll be up by now, but by the time you watch this, so check it out, erikwongma.com. All right. Hope to see you there. Peace.